right now. What? No, that music
Absolutely.
you had on the other night. We should have that playing just while we wait.
Oh, and apparently we should be live.
Oh, we are live apparently.
I mean,
Oh, we
yeah,
are live.
we are live.
We are live indeed.
Oh my god, we are live. I'm just going to quickly see if we can actually hear each other.
Oh, we are live apparently.
Oh yeah, I can hear both of us. So,
Cool.
yeah, lovely.
It's working.
I know, it's
Good to know it's
shocking,
working.
isn't it? So hello. How are you all? Our very first
Pretty good.
live stream.
Pretty good.
Doing pretty good.
Wonderful.
Exciting.
I know, right? Like all things
Yeah.
considered, like sixth episode of What We Watch, and it is live. We are moving up in the world. First 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
First 2 weeks it was 3 talking heads. Next 3 weeks we had a frame and pictures, and now we're live. Righto then. So, as is customary, what have you guys been up to? What have you watched? Tell me. Give me the lowdown.
Oh, okay. Well, I've been watching horror movies for October. I watched my last night. That is Nightmare on Elm Street. Woo!
Nice.
And
Oh,
I haven't really watched anything else
fair
since then.
enough.
So, what have you guys watched?
David.
I've watched quite a bit this week. I've actually got a list.
Oh wow,
Nice.
okay.
He has a
I
list.
came prepared.
Jeez. Like, that many, huh?
Right. So, let's get the ones out of the way that I didn't like. Right. So, Elektra, pretty bad. Bedtime stories, pretty bad.
Oh, you didn't like bedtime stories?
Oh no, bedtime
Movie.
stories. Have you ever
Sorry?
seen it before, or is this your first time you watched it?
These are all first time watches.
Oh, you poor boy.
Oh, hang on.
The new Grudge movie.
Oh, no, it's fine. It looked like we were frozen for a second, but I think it's okay.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
The Grudge movie. Yes, this
Yeah,
is
the new
a thing.
Grudge movie.
The new one.
With Andrea Scarborough, I think that's her name. John Cho, Betty Gilpin. It's actually got a really good cast.
I forgot
just
John Cho was in
failed
it.
on all levels for me. Sorry, what was that?
I was just gonna say that I forgot John Cho was in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those forgettable movies. Like it didn't anger me. Like I couldn't say that I'm a particular fan of the previous films. Never seen them. This was my first Grudge movie. But it's just one of those films where I watched it yesterday. I can apart from who the cast were because it just failed them. But
Fair
on the
enough.
plus side, I watched 2 of the talked about movies, most celebrated movies from last year, which were Bong Joon-ho's and The Lighthouse.
You watch
Oh,
Parasite. What did you think?
Nice.
I thought Parasite was exquisite.
It's so good, right?
It was phenomenal. Great cast, great direction, and it kept changing on so many levels, and it was so clever. And I genuinely don't think there was anything that I disliked about the film. It was just so good. and so well made. And same can kind of be said about The Lighthouse. Like, I didn't like it as much as I like Parasite, but there was something about The Lighthouse that I just loved. Like, Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson were fantastic. I loved the direction by Robert Eggers, and how it really felt like an old-timey movie. Everything down to the aspect ratio, the black and white that they used for the film, and even I get the feeling that some of the effects, such as some of the birds, is in some I want to say landscape shots like outside of a lighthouse. The way the birds were moving outside, I kind of felt as though they weren't actual birds. I could be way off on that, but the lighthouse was fantastic. But Parasite was even better.
Yeah, I really like Parasite as well. That was phenomenal. Haven't seen The Lighthouse yet, though. Oh,
I
sorry.
was gonna say, is this the first time we've found a film that all three of us enjoyed?
I know, right? It's so rare.
To this level.
Yeah,
I know.
To the point where we have nothing to say apart from it's good.
It is fantastic. Right, I'm just gonna quickly check the
Deserved
audio.
all the Oscars that it got. Like, it was so good.
Okay.
Okay, audio still fine, so I'm just really paranoid for the first stream, that's all. Sweet.
It's all good.
Wunderbar. So then, what else did you watch, David, or was that the entirety of your magnificent week?
I also watched The Girl on the Train with
Emily Blunt.
and Rebecca Ferguson, Haley Bennett, Justin Theroux, Luke Evans, Edgar Ramirez.
Well, these
Alison
people were
Janney
in this
is in
film?
it, Lisa Kudrow. Great cast. Great cast. Great cast. Emily Blunt was fantastic. Movie kind of fell flat for me.
Fair enough.
All things considered, the movie kind of fell flat for me. And I also watched Borat's subsequent movie film.
Oh no.
Oh my. How was it, David?
And I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it. And I thought get one of the other cast members' names up. Sacha Baron Cohen was great. Obviously his best performance this year. But the actress playing is Maria Bakalova. I thought she was great. Some of the stuff that they get up to is absolutely insane, and the fact that Sasha do all this without anyone knowing, it's just crazy
David,
to think of.
Hang on, Amy, is David breaking up for you?
Yeah, he's cutting out a little bit, like in mid-conversation.
Right, hang on. Let's see if we can fix this thing. And can someone say something? Can anyone say something?
Hello?
Are you? Oh, David, I can hear you.
Am I okay?
You're okay, Amy.
Okay, so you can hear me then.
Yeah, I can hear you, and David, I can hear you too. We'll see if that sorts it out as far as the breaking up goes, and
Hopefully
alter
this will
accordingly.
help.
Yes, so Sacha Baron Cohen and his 15-year-old daughter.
Yes. Some of the stuff that they get up to is absolutely insane in the movie. There were parts that made me really uncomfortable, but that was the point.
Yeah, that sounds about
Um,
right for a Sacha Baron Cohen film.
Very true.
Nice. Right. Well, I guess that leaves moi.
Too much.
So basically, I was gonna say continued, but continued. Hill House. I'm on episode 4 now, and it is very, very good. Highly recommend if anyone's interested. Also, I started Haikyuu season 5.
Oh, I'm only on season 3 of that.
Oh my
Need to go
days.
back to watching it.
Because the final season just started, so yeah, exciting. Starts off with a bang, I'll tell you that much. But
I'm kind of not enjoying it as much as I did with Kuroko, but we
I
shall
mean-
see. Maybe I'll get more into it.
they
as
are
it
two
goes.
very different shows.
Yeah.
I mean, Kuroko is basically superheroes playing basketball at one point, so
Very true.
but yeah, also I started Moriarty the Patriot, which was shockingly good. Which is basically Sherlock Holmes, but instead of following Sherlock, we follow Moriarty from his origins, and it's actually kind of fascinating.
That sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
Definitely think I should give that a watch.
So
That does sound really interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to jump out for a moment. Did I hear Hill House mentioned?
yes, you
did?
did. I'm going to be watching episode 4 next. I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Very nice. I just finished episode 6 of Hill House.
Oh my.
Very good. Very good.
Oh, I love it. It's so good. Like
I completely agree.
if it stays this good, it'd probably be the best series I've watched all year.
I can imagine.
But yeah, and the last thing, I'm going to be watching episode 3 of The Boys season 2 as well.
You
So yeah, that would be.
Oh,
That's
nice.
cool. Yeah.
So Amy, whereabouts?
Dylan, you broke up a little bit there.
Oh geez. Okay, we're going to have to fix that now, aren't we? Let's see. Maybe.
You're okay now, but you did break up a little bit.
Odd. Okay. Do you know what? Let's go back to Europe. See what that does. And can either of you hear me? Hello. Okay, I can't hear either of you now. Jays. Hello? Hello. Can you guys hear me? I'm going to keep on talking until you guys can hear me.
Oh, yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, do you know what? 5 episodes, no issue with Discord. The one time we go live, of course it freezes up.
It
I mean-
had to happen.
Of course.
I mean, then again, I am running like 6 different things at the same time, so yeah. But
That ought to do it.
I just need a
Anyway,
stronger
then.
PC. But
Sorry about that, guys.
yeah,
Back now.
apologies everyone. This is so unusual. I hope everything's alright. So, where were we? Hill House? The Boys?
Hill House.
Hill House. Very good.
Hill
Yes.
House.
Highly recommend. That is the long and short of it. Like, I love how they use horror and family drama together and just weave a really interesting narrative around it. So, hells yes.
Absolutely.
Nice.
And also, going to be watching episode 3 of The Boys. And Amy, whereabouts are you in The Boys?
I think I'm still on the last episode of season 1.
I thought you finished season 1.
I thought I did, but I actually haven't, because it's still sitting there on my Amazon Prime. So
Oh,
still need to watch the last episode, but I'll get around to it.
okay, fair. So I was thinking,
Yeah,
maybe after we've done watching The Boys, all of us, we could just talk about The Boys for an entire episode or something.
Oh,
That would
I'd be
be
down
fun.
for that.
That'd be fun.
Sounds
I'd
like
be
a
up for
plan.
that.
Cool. Right. Yeah, aside from that, I haven't really watched anything, so yay. But you know what? I was working on the video, and you know what I realized? I realized that 50 Shades of Grey did something better than Ilona. And that is a horrifying thought.
Oh dear.
Like, that just kind of flabbergasted me, to be honest. And
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're doing something wrong if 50 Shades of Grey is is considered better than your film. Then yeah,
like
it's not a good.
I am confident I could make a argument on why 50 Shades of Grey, the first movie, the next two are not better, but why the first 50 Shades of Grey is actually better than Ilona Holmes. Like, I could actually make that case. That is not a
I
good
think
place
you're
to be
breaking up
in.
again a little bit.
Ah, damn it.
No, you're okay now.
Oh, okay. Oh no. Oh, okay.
Guys, you will just have to bear with us. This is our first live stream. There are gonna be problems.
Well.
Call
I
it
know-
an experiment.
But yeah, we'll be talking. We are just gonna keep talking and talking and talking for the next 2 hours, probably.
Maybe it's the bandwidth I'm
Why not make it
using.
free?
Why not?
I'll try lowering the
be.
bandwidth I'm on and see if that makes a difference. Because...
Okay.
Okay, I'm down to 5 megs a second now. Hopefully that'll be better. But,
Hopefully.
yeah. So, yeah, that's about all I've watched and done. So, just Hill House is the shining beacon of everything I'm watching at the moment. Well, and the anime, but live action wise, Hill House is the beacon of
Nice.
the ray of hope. So yeah. Anywho, we are going to be talking about horror villains and our favorite and whatnot, and maybe even a couple that we may not have expected. So, yes, I do have.
We could consider this a sequel to the horror movie, the horror movie in general.
Yeah,
that we did.
the horror movie directors number 4. Yeah, it's this weird gap we have. It's like horror movie directors, and then video game, and then back to horror. It's and then just the thumbnails are
Yeah.
just.
That's gonna happen.
I just love the
I mean,
thumbnails
you
are
talked
just.
about Silent Hill. You talked about Silent Hill. We mentioned some Resident Evil in there.
This is
Yeah, we
true.
did.
Horror.
Yeah, there were
I-
horror in there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Right now,
I
like
feel
for.
like-
Oh, go on.
I was gonna say, I feel like everything we talk about, somehow horror creeps back up in there somewhere.
Yeah,
I love it.
absolutely. I mean, like, I kind of feel sorry for the people because I've just been fiddling around with this and they've just had Button Lady from Coraline as the picture on the screen for like the past 10, 15, 20 minutes. So I'm just going
Oh,
to
it's cool.
I'm just gonna transition to Three Finger from Wrong Turn for a bit now, just for some ethnic variety. Well, not really ethnic, but diversity's sake. For anyone who's into the Wrong Turn franchise, that is. So, horror villains. Like, I literally just put Three Finger up, but when you think of horror villains, like, who do you first think about? David.
Probably who I'd consider the big three. Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, and Freddy Krueger. Like, I haven't even seen Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th, but like just the image of like just the thought of the three of them. It's like they're the big three. They're like the Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman of horror.
Wait, who's Wonder Woman in this equation?
It's Freddy. I'm just kidding.
I mean, he's got a whimsical side to him, Freddy. So you never know.
But yeah, just off the top of my head, I would say those three.
Nice.
Cool.
And Amy, who's the first one?
I thought you were just throwing out a general question.
Yeah.
Oh no, like that.
Did you want us to talk about our specific picks for this?
No, like what I was going to ask is, who's the first person that comes to mind when you think about horror films and Halloween and all that, and then see where the conversation devolves into, really.
Okay.
Sweet. So,
Shall
Amy,
I go next then?
yes, please.
Okay. Well, my pick is Freddy Krueger. I love him so much. He's just a really cool horror villain, and I like you said, he's whimsical, and that's why I'm drawn to him, because like very many horror villains that you get where they're literally walking around like being all flamboyant while they're about to kill someone. Like rewatching it last night, I was laughing my ass off at some point because there's a bit where he's just like taunting one of his victims and he just casually chops one of his fingers off.
Oh,
and
I
just,
love
like,
that
is
part.
Like, look, my finger's bleeding. Check it out. It's so weird, but it's just like it works. I don't know how, but just the way he comes across is really funny, but at the same time you're like, oh my god, I would not want to walk into him in the dark alley.
I mean, ideally, ideally you wouldn't want to walk into any horror villain in the middle of the night. Ideally.
This is true.
I mean,
Yeah.
ideally, just any villain in general.
I also
True.
I find him like quite unique to the slasher genre, because like most slasher movies, it's a human man, and he's kind of almost like supernatural, if you will, because he's not alive anymore. Like he's been killed and now he's basically killing people in their dreams, and it's like I find it really fascinating as like a villain, because it seems to be like almost challenging slasher movies, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Because like, again, like he just does what the hell he wants. Like he doesn't care. He's just kills people in the most bizarre way possible. Like, I mean, he turns Johnny Depp into a geyser of blood. That's very, very unique, I would say.
I remember watching
Absolutely,
that when I was like
when
7.
you think about horror, people are either getting stalked by slashers.
Oh
See, I
no,
watched it
that's
when I was 9 for the first time, and I was terrified to sleep for a long time. I was like, Mom, I'm not going to sleep. She was like, why not? And I'm like, because Freddy Krueger's gonna get me, that's why, Mom.
It's like when you think about horror movies, you tend to think about how people are either getting stalked by slashers or haunted by supernatural things, and then Freddy Krueger, he kind of melds them into both when you think about it.
Yeah.
And the realities are blended, and it's with it being so focused on dreams as well, it's like a whole another level.
Yeah.
Like facing your fears in a way.
Yeah, it's actually quite cool. The Wes Craven actually based it on, there were like a series of like news articles of people who had like weird dreams and then died in their sleep, and he kind of took that and sort of wrote about it. And then the character of Freddy, he remembers like very vividly when he was a child that he saw like a hobo with a worn hat and a like red and green sweater, and he based Freddy off that guy because he saw him.
Oh, wow.
He saw this man and was like terrified when he was like 6. And I was like, that's quite interesting, and I didn't know that. So, bit of trivia for you.
I suppose it's like what they say, write what you know, and he certainly did that.
Yeah.
Is Dylan still there?
No,
I'm not
can you hear
sure.
me?
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay, yeah. No, I was just messing around with the whatchamacallits. I was listening.
Cool. Yeah. My brain is going a bit blank, but I do have more to say because I really do love Freddy Krueger as a character, and I find it weird saying that now because I remember when I was a child, I was absolutely horrified, and like I remember my mum telling me, she was like, "I had a poster of him in my bedroom when I was a teenager," and I'm like, "How did you sleep with the poster of him?"
Very
And now
carefully.
I'm kind of like, now I'm
With
older, I
one
kind
eye
of
open.
yeah, I keep an eye on that poster. But yeah, now I'm older, I'm kind of like, I actually love him as a villain. Like, I just love any time he's on screen, and like watching it back, I was like, he's actually not on the screen very often in the first film.
He's very charismatic.
He is. And apparently Robert Englund really enjoyed playing him. Apparently sometimes like he would do the Freddy growl when he was just out in public. Like he was like stuck in traffic and he did the Freddy growl at someone, and then he was like, I think I need to take a break from this character because yeah, I'm acting like him a lot.
Understandably.
So invested.
Yeah, he went full method actor apparently there, I think.
Oh,
But
like,
yeah, he's so good.
imagine if Daniel Day-Lewis played Freddy Krueger.
Oh my god.
That'd be weird. They got the guy who played, I can't remember his name, but I think he played Rorschach in the
Jackie Earle Hurley.
Watchmen movie.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, he played Freddy Krueger in the 2010 one, and it was just not that good. Like,
do you know
I
what?
don't know,
I
it just
didn't mind
didn't
that one,
have-
to be honest.
yeah. I
Like,
didn't mind like the story.
yes?
Oh, sorry. No,
Oh.
I thought you were finishing. No, I didn't mind the story. I don't know, for him in the role, I just didn't.
It was.
Maybe I was like, I want to be scared, but like, it wasn't scary to me. But maybe that's because at the time, obviously 2010, I was like 16, so I wasn't as scared of him anymore. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, I mean, then again, like, they did go with a very different Freddy as well.
Yeah.
Like, the humor was definitely not there with this one, so
Yeah.
there is that as well. Yeah, like, I kind of enjoyed the story for what it was, but then again, I did only watch it the one time and thought that was fun. I'll never watch it again, probably.
Yeah.
So,
Fair.
um,
That's how I felt, but I ended up going back to it, and like the second time round when I watched it, I really enjoyed, laughed my ass off at it, and I was just like, I feel like that's the kind of horror I really like. If it can make me laugh and also make me go, I'm not going to sleep tonight.
yeah.
It's my ideal horror.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, in that case, Freddy is absolutely the right person for you then, in terms of films. I mean,
Yeah.
right. Do you know what? I as much as I love the Freddy, I think I am going to go for my boy Jason.
Very
Nice
nice.
choice.
I don't know. I've always liked the silent stoic type. You know, like does his job, doesn't say anything, and is kind of a really cool role model to have. You know, actions speak louder than words and all that, and he gets the job done. You know, like, like for anyone in elementary school or kindergarten, you know, look
Dylan,
up to
you still there?
Jason.
Hello?
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me?
Sorry. Yeah, you just went quiet then. So.
Okay. Because I was going off on. Okay, hang on. Let me see if I. Maybe if I go back to Europe. Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Um. Right. Hopefully that will be the last time we have to deal with that. But
Fingers crossed.
yeah. But yeah, I was just going to say that for anyone who's in kindergarten or, who's young, look up to Jason, He gets the job done. He doesn't, boast or anything like that. He just, goes about his day and does what he loves, and he's pretty good at it.
I definitely have to tell my look up to Jason.
Like in terms of the work ethic, maybe not the methodology of the work ethic, but
maybe not.
yeah, and maybe less face. Oh, actually, it is 2020. Face masks are the rage. So
Exactly.
They're in right now.
Model there. He wears a mask.
he was ahead of the
Be like
curve.
Jason.
Be like Jason.
Be like Jason.
Literally, I think I saw that meme the other day.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
Wear a mask.
hells
saw
yeah.
I saw one for Michael Myers as well. Be like Michael Myers. Wear a mask.
I think I saw that one as well.
Yeah.
All these horror
In fact,
villains.
I saw a whole short film about Halloween in 2020.
Okay.
It's pretty funny.
Nice. Sounds like fun.
Yeah. Seeing as I thought we were just having a random discussion about horror movie villains and who you think of immediately, is it okay if I go with my pick?
I mean, that
'Cause
was.
I wasn't gonna talk about the Trinity.
I mean, yeah. No, that was kind of like just a pre. I was just curious. That's all. Like, I don't think I've asked you guys that, so I just thought, okay, well, we're talking about horror villains. May as well just ask it now. So that kind of thing. But
Fair enough.
yeah. Like I said, I just want to ask you guys and then just see where the conversation devolves into.
Yeah,
it
of
works
course.
too.
So, I think I spoke pretty extensively about Michael Myers in the horror movie directors episode that we did. So I was considering doing Halloween, and funnily enough, we would have actually covered the Trinity had I done that. But I decided to go with another pick.
Okay.
Admittedly, I haven't seen nearly as many of this character's portrayals on screen.
Oh my.
However, the one that I have seen has really stuck with me. Very interested to see the other portrayals, both in movies and on television. And that is okay.
Okay.
You
built up the tension, dude.
I was gonna give it away, but so
Or do we
I'll
have to
give you
guess?
guys I'll give you guys hints.
Oh.
Exciting.
The three portrayals of this character have all appeared, and the actors, I mean, have all appeared in Marvel films.
Okay.
For the three of them that I'm thinking of, anyway.
Okay.
Marvel films, you say?
Are they starring roles?
No.
No.
Like they're not top billing, but they're in like the main cast list.
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, my brain's got nothing. My brain's like,
And
you
two-
watched
and-
Endgame ages ago.
And two of them are villains.
Two villains, okay.
Hannibal.
Yes.
Ah.
Right,
'Cause-
so obviously the three that I was thinking of was Sir Anthony Hopkins, who plays
Oh, yeah.
Odin, and then you've got Mads Mikkelsen, known for the television series Hannibal, and he
yeah.
was in Doctor Strange.
And the lesser
then-
known
Yeah.
Hannibal Rising.
And
Yeah.
you also have Brian Cox.
I
Oh,
forgot he portrayed Hannibal.
oh, very interesting, David, because I was under the assumption that you were going by the Hannibal films and not Mindhunters. So, yeah, so in that case, that would be 4 actors who have portrayed Hannibal.
Who's the
Oh,
fourth?
Hannibal Rising.
okay.
I was just going off the top of my head. Who played him in Hannibal Rising?
Hannibal Rising. I'm looking it up now. It's a 2007 film, and it is starring Gaspard Ulliel, and it's got Aaron Thomas.
Ooh,
Aaron
can't say that I'm
Thomas.
familiar.
Let's see what he has. Oh, Gong Li was in that film,
Oh, wow.
and Rhys Irvin. Oh, however you say that name. He was also in IMDb. Loading. He has been in 2 films, Hannibal Rising and that. So he played young Hannibal, Aaron Thomas.
Well, there we go.
And-
cool.
Oh my god, there was another Hannibal in that film? I didn't even know that. Jeez, so we've got like 5 actors who played Hannibal. My mind's blown at the moment.
We're all learning new things today.
Gaspard Ulliel, let's see what you have been in, good sir. And you have been... Oh, he was a model. Can't see Hannibal as a model, I'll be honest. Oh, I know him. Jeez. Can't believe I'm spacing. He was in Alias. He was in Brotherhood of the Wolf. He played Louise. Oh man, yes.
Sounds like you're a fan.
Yeah, like you usually see him in like Gucci adverts and stuff like that, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, big fan of Brotherhood of the Wolf.
Very random.
I know,
Okay.
right? Gee, I didn't realize 5 actors played Hannibal. But yeah, you went with the better of the 3, so yeah.
Good choice.
The portrayal that I've seen is Anthony Hopkins' portrayal in Silence of the Lambs.
Good film.
And obviously, from what I've just spoken about, I'm not the biggest expert in Hannibal Lecter. Didn't know exactly how many people played Hannibal over the years. But when it comes to Sir Anthony Hopkins' portrayal in Silence of the Lambs, it has to be seen. Like even I knew that.
Can you imagine? Do you know the scene where he's like revealed, like, because apparently this is what I think my mum told me when she saw it. Like he filled the entire cinema screen. So can you imagine how terrifying that probably was?
That would be terrifying. Absolutely. It's one of those things where when I first watched it, I was on the entire film, and especially the scenes in which Anthony Hopkins were in it, and the fact that he's not even the main villain of the movie when you think about it. Like that's Buffalo. But every time that Anthony Hopkins is on screen, you're glued to the screen. Like you can't take your eyes off him, and there's just this presence about him that really unsettles you. And the way that he's just so well articulated and clever, and his interactions with Clarice Starling are just mesmerizing. It's one of those performances in a film that you just think, wow, like when you're watching the film.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
whenever people think about Silence of the Lambs, it usually is one of those moments with Hannibal and Clarice. So
Definitely. And then you've also got to keep in mind that, like, as I was saying, he wasn't in the film all that long. He's not in the film all that long, and yet he gave an incredible performance that has gone down in history. And when you think about Silence of the Lambs, obviously you think about Buffalo Bill, but like considering that Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal was behind bars for most of the film, he's the person that sticks in your mind, and he's the person that you're probably scared of the most, even though he's behind bars. And obviously, in the scene that he escapes, it's just really unsettling and scary. And the fact that he actually gets away at the end of the film, it's just really unsettling. And that's the film that really stuck with me, and the character that sticks with me aside from Michael Myers when I think of horror.
it just goes to show what can happen to you when you grow up in Wales.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Hannibal's a great pick, to be honest, because like we've got the classic slasher guys, but then when you think about horror, I don't think like Hannibal comes up in the conversation as much. Obviously he does, but usually it's relegated to like Freddy, Jason, and those kind of guys who just kind of rip and tear, so to speak.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely, and it's understandable in a way. Silence of the Lambs is also a thriller film. When you think
absolutely,
about it.
yeah.
So I suppose if people were to see it under that radar, it's understandable. Like you could say it's more of a thriller film than it is a horror film, but alternatively, you could say that it's more of a horror film than it is a thriller film.
Yes,
Definitely.
absolutely.
I like it when genres kind of blend together like that, where they're just kind of both.
Yeah, definitely makes for some interesting watching.
Mm.
Okay, so I've got a question for thee. Would you consider OG Predator a horror character?
Ooh,
I would say so. I mean, he murders people in horrendous ways, and sometimes when the predator is stalking its prey, like that's very similar to a slasher movie, where they have the killer's perspective. So I would say it definitely fits the bill for a horror, but also it has tons of action in it, so you could argue that it's a mix of both, but I would say it definitely still counts as a horror.
Yeah, I think the first half of Predator is absolutely like a full-on action flick, and then
Yeah.
when they see the Predator, it's like, oh, so this is the kind of film we're in kind of moment.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, another film that's done it really well of having it look like it's one genre and then turn into another is there's a film called Prom Night. That starts off being like, oh, this is going to
Oh,
be a cute romantic
yeah.
comedy. And the next minute, everybody's getting murdered, and you're like, oh, okay. All
Our
right, then.
Prom Night. God, it's been years since I've seen that film.
Yeah, I still haven't seen the original yet. I saw the remake, but
Yeah, me too. I've only ever
but
seen the
yeah,
remake.
I do love how it like plays itself as like a romantic comedy, and the next minute it's like, oh no, everybody's getting killed.
As you do.
Yep.
Oh
I
my
must
god.
admit-
Oh, yeah?
Oh no, I was just gonna talk about Predator, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Back to Predator.
Like, I was just gonna say that the girl, the lead blonde from Prom Night, she was...
Hayden. I think it's Hayden Patternor.
Do you know what? Because
No,
it's not Hayden.
I think it's Brittany Snow. I think it is.
No, it's not Brittany Snow. I think...
Are you
No.
sure?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure
not.
It was.
Let me see in IMDb.
That was a
Prom.
real song there.
Nice little song going there.
little jingle.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. It does say Brittany Snow, but she would have been.
I thought so.
Oh, I'm well confused now. Ming Na was in it?
Ming Na Wen.
Was she? I don't remember that.
Apparently, she was the doctor.
Oh, fair enough. Like, literally, this is a film I watched like once, and I just vaguely remember people dying in it. And Brittany
Alright.
Snow just pops up randomly in films.
Brittany Snow, Scott Porter, Jessica Stroup.
I was thinking of someone. I was thinking of 8 Mile Girl.
Oh,
Damn it, what's her name?
James
have no
Fransone is in it from It Chapter 2.
oh my God, is he? I completely forgot. Like I say, I watched this film like once ages ago.
Brittany Murphy. That's who I was thinking
Oh,
of.
yeah, her and Brittany Snow, like they're very similar. They look very similar. I mean,
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, Brittany Snow, you know, like from one of my favorite comedies of all time, John Tucker Must Die.
I love that movie so much.
Oh,
It's
that
so
was.
good.
I haven't
It's
seen it.
dumb, but it's so good.
Literally haven't seen it since it came out, but I enjoyed it so much at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I know there are some parts that have definitely not aged well. I
Which
can't
is
remember
why
them,
it's
but
great.
there are some films that you go back and watch, and you're like, when you liked it, you're kind of like, some of these jokes they're not good.
Not sure about that one.
Yeah, it's a bit like I'm uncomfortable
Oh,
with my past self right now. I'm like, I kind of want to go and tell my past self, no.
How
Bad.
did I find that funny?
Yeah,
uh,
it's one of them.
Happens to us all.
oh yeah, absolutely.
I
So
feel like that's a sign of growth, though, when you're like, oh my God, that was awful. And you're
yeah.
like, currently, you're like, yeah, I know that's bad.
So what were you gonna say about the Predator, David?
Yeah, sorry, dude.
Oh yeah, I was actually gonna say I've never actually considered Predator a horror. Like I know that it probably should be, but I've never actually considered it as horror. I've always considered it more of a sci-fi film, which is understandable given the subject matter. But I've always saw it as like a sci-fi action film. Whereas if you compare it to something like Alien, I've always saw Alien as a horror film. But
Oh yeah,
in
the
terms
first
of-
one, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But when it came to Predator, sure, you've got people getting chopped up and quite a lot of blood.
Literally skinned alive.
True, true. But for some reason, I've just never really considered it a horror film.
Fair.
I don't know, I guess the reason why I ask is because there are a lot of, like Amy said, a lot of slasher aspects to Predator because, you know, especially in the first two, you know, the only two worth watching, there, like there's the hide and seek aspect of it, the hunter and the hunted kind of thing going on, a lot like, you know, the 80s, 70s, 60s slashers going on. So that's the only reason
Oh,
why
no,
I
I
asked.
can-
So
I completely see where you're coming from. I'm probably in the minority.
oh no, like I'm pretty sure I'm in the minority in thinking that it has the potential to be a horror film because
Yeah.
it very much does have the reputation of being a sci-fi action film. So
Yeah. I mean, I feel like maybe that's just basically it depends on who's watching it, and I tend to really enjoy horror films, so I tend to focus on horror aspects of a film. Like if they're there, I will pick up on them and be like, okay, I'm viewing this as a horror. Whereas not everybody will do that. Like some people will just be like, no, it's not horror, it's this. So I think it really depends on who's watching it.
That's fair. I think it's something that they've gradually gone away from in the Predator movies.
Yeah, I feel like they did the same thing with Resident Evil games. Like it was horror, and then it turned into straight up action.
and back to horror.
Because when you look at the original Predator, I can definitely see where you're coming from the horror movie aspect. I do see where you're coming from. It's just I've never really considered it. But then when you get further into the series with like Predator 2 and Predators and then The Predator,
Yep.
I think it's definitely became more action based.
Less spoken about the Predator, the better, to be honest.
I hated that movie. I remember that was one of the first films I went to see with my Odeon Limitless card. I went to see A Simple Favor first, which I really enjoyed.
Oh, I really
Um,
enjoyed that movie too. It was really, really good.
Yeah,
Oh my
with
God.
Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively.
Yeah.
So good. And then I walked into The Predator because I had some time to kill, and I'd heard bad things about it, but I was blown away by how much I disliked that film.
It is fascinating.
It exists, would you say?
It
No,
definitely does exist.
I don't think it should.
Oh, that bad it doesn't
It's-
exist.
It's shocking. My goodness.
I mean, for as much as it well not exist.
Oh,
Guys, can we please just get t-shirts that say it exists, because we say that so much, and I'm just like, I want this to be a t-shirt now.
It comes to life. But yeah, that like I've actually got a clip of the Predator on my Ilona Holmes video as well, and it's so apt.
Okay.
It's literally Uber Predator just destroying OG Predator, and I'm like, this is the franchise at this point. Why even hide it?
I was gonna say, is that your metaphor for what they did to Sherlock and Mycroft's character?
For most media this decade, actually, because Terminator, Predator, Alien, Star Trek, so many of them have just gone up on flames metaphorically from a story point of view. That is just like, and I can't believe that of all the ones to get me to make this video, it's Ilona Holmes of all things, and I'm like, that was the last straw apparently.
You know, I can never tell whether whether you mean to say Alone Holmes.
He's doing it on purpose at this point.
That's what I think.
It's gotten to like, because I proofread the script like 6-7 times. Like, I've said Ilona so much that is what I think of the film now as. It's
Her name's just Ilona now.
Ilona Holmes. That's what I naturally call it now. So it was on
For
purpose,
anyone
and now it's just
confused-
natural.
For anyone confused, the film is called Enola Holmes, but Dylan is just insistent on calling her I can't even say it wrong now.
I mean, in the
Ilona.
film they make reference
go.
to the fact that Enola, if you rearrange the letters, it does spell alone. So I can definitely see where you're coming from.
Just like,
It's
"Nope,
not
her
even
name's
that,
Ilona now."
like, genuinely, until I actually watched the film, I genuinely thought it was Ilona, because that's just easier to say for me.
Fair enough.
So I'm like, oh, guess
That's
it's
fair.
so yeah, it's just Ilona now. Just yeah. But
I'm assuming we're gonna be talking about aliens since we've got a tasty xenomorph up on the screen.
I mean, that's what we were doing for a second there.
Yeah.
So like,
Look at it, it's all gooey, tasty. Eat it up.
I mean, that wasn't my first impression of the xenomorph, but hey, to each their own.
I mean, to
Don't
be
kink
fair,
shame me.
I mean, to be fair, one of the first moments that we actually see
Of the
was
alien.
at a dinner scene.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
go.
John
Food.
hurt. I bet it hurt. That's the only time I'm ever going to use a pun. So
I don't doubt it.
it's the only pun I'm ever going to say on stream. So savor it.
Wah, wah, wah. Enjoy that terrible. All two of you watching.
I will. But yeah, Alien, yet another franchise that went from horror to action back to horror unsuccessfully.
Hmm.
It's one of those franchises that the first two movies are great.
Just
Oh,
like
yeah, the
Terminator.
first one's so good.
Exactly.
Yep.
But I will say, Terminator Isolation, no, Alien Isolation, very good game. Please play.
I'm too scared to play it because I know I won't finish it. I'll play a little bit and I'll be like, nope, bye. Like I love horror, but playing horror games, oh my god, it is the funniest thing. Like I was playing The Evil Within, and
All right.
Ryan was watching me, and I think my brother was in the room as well. And like literally, there's this girl that looks like a spider, and all you could hear me saying was like, "Ah, the spider lady's gonna kill me!" And the pair of them were just laughing at me. It was so funny.
I'm alright with horror, and I do like horror games. I just realized I haven't really played a lot of it. Need to change that.
Is it one of
Yeah.
your blind spots?
I don't know. I just because I do love horror games. Like I love Soma, and Oxenfree's got horror aspects to it, and
Yeah.
like Until Dawn, for all its faults, I do like it. You know, so I do like horror games. I've just not played a lot now that I think about it.
Yeah. I mean, I do like them. I just think Alien Isolation, again, like I think I've talked about it in the past, jump scares work on me because I have anxiety. So something jumps out, makes a loud noise at me, it's gonna scare me.
And
So-
especially
Oh, yeah.
if it's something as interactive as a game, like that's
Yeah.
understandably gonna cause a reaction because you're actually in the experience of the game as opposed to a film where you're kind of, I don't want to say you're passively watching it because especially as film students we're not necessarily passively watching something, but you know, you compare watching a film to playing a game, it's a different type of experience and it's more immersive. So I completely get what you mean because if you're gonna have a jump scare in a game, it's understandably gonna have more of a reaction than a film would.
Yeah. One cool thing about Alien Isolation, though, is the AI is
Yes.
programmed to get smarter as you go. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna beat the AI. The AI is gonna eat me.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you play with the speaker on your controller, God have mercy on your soul. Because you can't actually make sound in the room itself because that will register in the game and that will alert the alien to you. And I thought that was really cool as well.
It's cool. It's very cool. It's just I think I'm just like I'm gonna give that one a miss because I know I'm not gonna get anywhere with it and it's just gonna scare me. So I'm just like that one. I agree it is a very good game, but I think it's just I'm not going to play it.
I think I played that with my dad actually. We took turns every death, and playtime was kind of segmented between minutes because we kept dying to the xenomorph at the start.
Yeah,
But
I can imagine.
yeah, okay. So here's something for you two. An obscure horror villain that you wouldn't immediately think of.
Obscure horror. Ooh.
By definition, you shouldn't be thinking about it, but hey, I want to know if you are.
Ooh.
So,
I mean, I've got two that come to mind.
oh my, do tell.
My first thought was Jerry the vampire from Fright Night.
Do you know what? Of all the people I have on my docket, I didn't have Jerry.
It's a travesty.
Obscure. I was just saying that. I was like, what if we pick a villain and you don't have a picture of it?
I will just have to be... Okay, so which Jerry are you talking about? OG Jerry or Colin Farrell Jerry?
I've only seen Colin Farrell Jerry, so I've got to go with that one. Who does play Jerry in the original Fright Night movie?
Do you know what? I think if I open another tab, I'm pretty sure my PC is gonna explode, so I'm gonna have to leave that to you.
It's alright, I'll do it. I'm Chris Sarandon.
Oh, okay. I know the name, but I'm drawing a serious blank at the moment. Like,
Same here. to
I
be
know his
honest.
face, but yeah. Okay, then what we
He
want?
was married to Susan Sarandon at
That-
one point.
That could be the reason.
He was in The Princess Bride.
Oh,
So he was. I forgot he was in that.
that
Nightmare
might.
he was the voice of Jack Skellington in Nightmare Before Christmas.
Ah. Okay, very interesting.
And he had
Oh,
a cameo appearance in the remake of Fright Night.
oh,
okay.
nice. Okay, so because Nightmare on Elm Street came out, not Nightmare on Elm Street, Nightmare Before Christmas got brought up in the conversation. Let's talk about one of the sassiest villains, Oogie Boogie.
Boogie Boogie. Yeah.
Someone I did have in the docket. But like, talk about charismatic villains, like Freddy Krueger and Oogie Boogie, top tier.
Absolutely, they've got to be up there.
They're so good.
Uh,
Yeah, I was gonna say Corpse Bride as well, but the villain in that's kind of meh.
oh, who was the villain? Oh,
I
yeah,
forget his name.
the aristocrat. Yeah,
I'm like, you're kind of meh for a villain. I mean, you're very evil, and I do want you to die horribly, but I was just like, not very charismatic. You just kind of suck as a
I mean,
person.
everything around Corpse Bride is so good that like the villain does kind of leave a serious lack of an impact.
Yeah.
I always think that's a bit of a shame when you've got like a great film where everything else is great, but for some reason the villain kind of falls by the wayside.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like such an integral character.
Yeah.
The antagonist. It's always such a shame.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I feel like if you have a villain that's got charisma and they're sort of tiny bit likable, they're like, I love to hate this character.
Yeah, and it also
I
helps
feel like
if
it's more effective.
I'd agree.
yeah, and I suppose it also helps if we understand the rationale as well, as
Yeah.
opposed to I'm evil man because I'm eviltisms.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like with him, like there was nothing, not even a tiny sliver of likability for this man, because it's just like you are the absolute worst kind of human, and there is nothing, not even a tiny smidge of charisma about you. You're just straight up horrible.
He was basically
Yeah,
Bob from Ilona
absolutely.
Holmes.
And I think what you said about I think what you said about the charisma is very true. Like you just have to look at some of our picks, like Freddy Krueger. I'd even say Hannibal Lecter, definitely.
Definitely got some charisma to him, Hannibal Lecter.
Michael Myers, for as quiet as he is,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
he's quite a charismatic
Yeah.
character.
I mean,
with
there
it.
is one part in Halloween where he stops and admires what he's done. Like,
Exactly.
I think it's I think it's the boyfriend, you know, when he takes the boyfriend's glasses and puts it on. Like, before that happens, he stabs the guy and then kind of tilts his head to the side as if to say, "Oh, I did a cool thing," and then carries on. But that's like even though he's quiet, that's like a very brief, like, little ism that he does.
No, I completely see what you mean. Like, he's like, I think I said this the other week, but he's a bit of an artist
Yeah.
with his kills. Like, he definitely puts a lot of effort, I guess you could say, into his work, and he definitely appreciates it by
Yeah.
the little head tilt that he does.
Also, you can tell he has a preferred way of killing specific people because with women, he tends to try and choke them. And then with men, he just straight up stabs them and leaves them. So you can definitely tell that he has some more of a grudge towards women than men because he'll just off the men, whereas with the women he'll just like strangle them and just basically like kind of kill them slowly, if you will. I don't know.
So what
Yeah.
you're saying is basically we've got Jason, who is a very hard worker and just gets the job done, and we've got Michael Myers, who is a very artistic figure. These two should be looked up to by children for future generations to come, to
Yeah.
aspire to be like. I was just thinking, imagine
Yes.
I
what
don't know
a
about that. I don't
Like-
know about that.
I was just thinking, imagine we have a conversation in a film between Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees.
I mean, that would be a very quiet scene.
I'm just imagining them just like tilting their heads, lifting the weapons up, you know, just like fist bumping each other, high fiving.
I just imagine them doing like their impromptu staring match while we just watch.
Yeah.
Oh my god, imagine if the two of them were having a staring match and Freddy Krueger was the commentator.
Oh my god, yes. I would watch that so
That
much.
would be amazing.
Right, so for next year, that is our next project together.
We're just making a yeah, sure. I have a friend who does a really good, really scary, eerily impression of Mike Myers. He did it for Comic-Con. He literally ran around Comic-Con with this mask on and the boiler suit and everything. Did not say a word to people. Just did the breathing. Just walked up to people. People got pictures with him. And like he did this whole thing where he literally followed me around Comic-Con. And I didn't know it was him. The only way I knew it was him was he put his phone in front of me and showed me that it was his profile, and I was like, I'm genuinely terrified of you, but also you're a kind of interesting human.
Not even person, just human. Person's
Yeah.
kind of hit or miss at the moment.
But yeah, that was a very scary thing in Comic-Con, and I kind of had to explain to people because my friends were like, "Are you okay? That dude's following you," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know him." And they're
It's a
like,
bit.
"Hmm." Yeah, they're like, "You have some interesting friends," and I'm like, "I know."
He takes his work very seriously.
He does.
A figure to aspire to be.
I think another.
But I think if I asked him, he'd probably be willing to do that if we were like, you know, we want to do this thing where we have Michael Myers and Jason and just they don't talk, they just have a super intense staring match. I think he'd be down for it.
We need to find the perfect Freddy in that case.
Very true.
Okay, I'll just tweet Robert England, just be like, dude, tweet.
I was thinking we could just have Tom be Jason. Just sit
Yeah.
there.
Can you imagine him trying to be Freddy Krueger?
Do you know
I think
what?
he'd go all in.
I mean, I would
don't know.
applaud the effort. I would be interested
see
to see
him.
what he does.
Possibly pulling it off. We should do like a casting session with him and be like, dude, be Freddy Krueger. Let's see what you got.
Jump for me, pretty.
Go.
Tom, if you're
I've
watching,
got
we
a
say this
question
with all
for you
love.
guys.
Ooh, question.
So,
Yeah, we love you, dude.
Oh,
Please
there's
be
a
Freddy.
delay on my side. Big delay.
Is it a delay on the live? Because I'm pretty sure it is. There is always like a slight.
No,
slight
no,
delay.
like me hearing you guys to you hearing me.
Are you talking in general?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, there is a little bit.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh, how dare you.
Ah, I know. So rude.
Do you know what? Let's go to Singapore, see if that helps.
Okay.
this
Before
episode.
we go, I fancied a nice trip. So go on a trip.
20. In 20, a trip is well needed.
In
Oh.
2020, the only way to go on holiday is in your brain.
I mean, it's a start, right?
Memories.
Yeah.
Or
So if you're a
dreams,
lucid, if
considering-
you're a lucid dreamer, then it's fine. But you know, if you can't control your dreams, sorry, you get what you're given.
Okay, so is the lag better now?
It
I can hear you.
sounds
Okay, yeah, it's
fine
better
to me.
because you guys replied right away. So, yes,
Oh, that's good.
Singapore.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Singapore, you did it.
Okay.
People must be wondering what Singapore, what's going on? It's Discord
they're just like-
server.
Why are you talking about Singapore? What's going on?
Singapore's a lovely country, I'm sure. Got friends from Singapore. They're lovely. So, anyway, what were we? Yeah. Anyway, you were saying,
Mike
David?
Myers.
I was gonna say, so picture yourselves in a horror movie scenario, a slasher
no.
movie.
Hmm.
I'm gonna die.
Out of Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, and Ghostface, who would you be more scared of going after you?
Ghostface.
More scared of.
um,
I'd say Michael Myers because I was terrified in Comic Con, and that's just Comic Con. It's the heavy breathing. It just scares the crap out of me. I'm just like, ah.
I would say,
And also, he
Jason.
would totally kill. See, I wouldn't be too scared of Jason. I just kind of. It might be because the time when I actually got around to watching the Jason movies, I was just kind of. I found it funny.
See, my rationale
so
is
I'm just not really scared.
you can kill the other two. Jason's already dead. I can't do much with that. So, yeah, I think that's solely the reason why I would go for
think
Jason.
For me, that's fair. That's understandable.
Delay
I
again.
I think for me, it might be Ghostface in a weird way, because obviously he's got his little routine that he goes through with his phone call. What's your favorite scary movie? And it would kind of leave me anxious, just kind of wondering where he's going to come from, and the fact that he's very reckless in a way, with how he confronts people. Like, he's not perfect. He's not an expert at what he does. So he's gonna make mistakes, and the fact that he's more reckless, I think it would put me on edge even more. Because although there would be a chance that I would be able to get away from him, at the same time, I feel as though that would put me on edge because, you could think that he could make a mistake, where at the same time, he could come out at it from a different angle. So I think maybe Ghostface would freak me out the most.
I suppose as far as unpredictability goes, Ghostface does take the cake in that regard. But then again, that makes it more likely he'll end up killing himself more than anything else, so that just doesn't really scare me all that much.
I mean, that's true, that's fair. Out of the three, I'd definitely say that Michael is the one that scares me the most, but just for the unpredictability factor, and plus, he's also fast.
Oh no.
So,
we lost Amy.
Oh, okay.
Where'd
Where'd she go?
I don't know. Maybe she's putting. Oh, the internet just went down. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess it's just me and you for the time being.
Yeah, I'll just send her a quick message to let her know that she can rejoin.
That's a shame.
Yeah. First stream, eh?
Hopefully she'll be back soon.
Hey, that's alright. Let me know if it is fixed and you can hop on again. Smiley face. Gotta add the smiley face.
Of course.
There's two of us now.
Hopefully she'll be back soon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, now that there are two of us, we can do anything we want.
What would you like to talk about?
I don't know.
That's a great start.
I know, right? Oh, do you know what? Like, considering the sheer amount of films that there are in comparison, like, we haven't really spoken much about Jigsaw at all this past month.
That's. I mean, we brought him up a bit in the horror movie director's discussion. Like, it kind of got away from us, but at some point we ended up talking about Jigsaw.
Yeah, true. I mean, it's not like we're known for going on off of tangents. So,
I mean, it's practically our go-to.
yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, like, okay. So, how do you feel about Jigsaw as a wee boy, quote unquote?
To be honest, I've never actually seen any of the films, so I'm not really the best person to speak to when it comes to Jigsaw. So if you're more than happy to talk about your experience with Jigsaw, I'm happy to listen and react.
He is quite the character, considering he died like in the first half of the saga. But who cares about time, right?
It's Tobin Bell who voices Jigsaw, right?
Yeah, he was in the films, like in the first 3 films, but then he gets killed in the 3rd one. So everything after that is flashback when it comes to Tobin Bell. So it's just different people carrying on the moniker of Jigsaw.
Oh, so it's like a legacy type of
Yeah,
character.
essentially, yeah.
Copycat killers.
Pretty much, yeah. Only they were groomed by the Tobin.
Oh wow! So it's a cult.
Yeah, in a really, like, not quite the kind of cult you'd expect from Klaus from Umbrella Academy, but
Yeah.
a very different kind of cult.
That's the next Jigsaw movie after Spiral, the Cult of Jigsaw.
They got a cult of Chucky already, so hey, Jigsaw's got to join the clan.
Very true.
Oh god, imagine if they actually did get Klaus in it as well, just with his actual cult.
I mean, that would be incredible, and I'd be all for that.
It would be very interesting.
Robert Sheehan, I really like Robert Sheehan. He's a really good actor. I feel as though after Misfits, he kind of went into a bit of a slump with some of the projects that he was involved with.
Are you telling me that Mortal Instruments wasn't good?
I mean, yes, but I was more so thinking about Mortal Engines and Geostorm.
Holy crap, he was there?
He was in both of them, yes.
Who was he in Mortal Engines?
He was the male lead of the film.
Oh, you can tell that film left an impact. Oh,
absolutely. I
Wow.
remember turning to you at the end of that film, and I was just kind of thinking to myself, well, that was a couple of hours of my time kind of wasted.
Yeah, and considering it had a really strong first 5 minutes, like,
Oh, the chase scene at the beginning of the film was really
great.
really good.
And then the rest of the film happened. It's like,
Exactly.
oh.
It was funny. The best part about the film was Stephen Lang's character.
Oh yeah,
Because he played the
robot,
droid
yeah.
character, yeah. Stephen Lang. Don't Breathe 2's got a release date.
Oh yeah, Don't Breathe 2. That's another film.
I believe it comes out in August of next year. Of course,
For now.
unless there's any delays.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's another film that I really enjoy. The first Don't Breathe was really good in my opinion.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. You know, I've always been
Oh,
meaning to, but I've never gotten around to seeing
it's
it.
really good.
I've heard, and that's why I'm so bummed out. Cause, yeah, I will watch it.
Stephen Lang's great. Stephen Lang's great. Jane Levy, Levi, Levy. I think it's Levy. She's great, and it's really unnerving. I'm looking forward to the sequel to see what they do with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got plenty of time to watch the first one in that time, so hey, who knows?
Very true. I think you've got. I think you've got like 10 months. So,
I think I
there
can
you go.
fit it in there somewhere. But yeah, are there any other horror villains that you can think of you would like to talk about?
Ooh, let me look some up. Uh,
Because I've got Pennywise
Oh,
here. Oh,
I was just gonna say Pennywise.
Ah.
Funnily enough.
see, it's almost as if I'm there with you, but I'm not.
Maybe behind me, and I'm not realizing.
I mean, I am your shadow, literally. I will eat you one day.
That scares me.
What, me eating you, or the picture I just put on?
I didn't see a picture that you've just put on, to be honest. Me just
It hasn't come up yet, but it's basically Tim Curry's Pennywise.
okay.
And it's
Pretty cool.
just,
Good choice.
yeah, and it's from that scene, if I remember correctly. You know how in the remake you got the I can't remember the gazebo kid when he sees the leper.
Oh yes, Jack Dylan Grazer from Shazam.
I'll take your word for it. I genuinely can't remember his name, but yeah, gazebo kid with the asthma stuff going on. It's the equivalent of that scene, if I remember correctly,
Yeah.
in the It miniseries. So it's just him with his messed up teeth, just looking at him being Tim Curry.
I miss Tim Curry.
Wait, he's not dead, is he?
No, he's just not in much
Oh.
anymore. So
I was like, what did I miss today?
no, you haven't missed anything. It's just he stuff recently, and I believe he's had some health problems.
Yeah,
as
I
well.
was just gonna say.
So I just miss him. I
Yeah,
miss him.
and everyone does. Do you know what? Did you ever used to watch? Okay, this is a bit of a departure, but did you ever used to watch Powerpuff Girls?
I did when I was really little.
I will take it. You know, if ever they decided to do a live action Powerpuff Girls, my ideal, like, dream casting would have been Tim Curry as him. David?
Yeah,
Oh,
you went out a bit first. Sorry.
okay. I was just saying that my ideal casting for a live action Powerpuff Girls would have been Tim Curry as him.
As Tim Curry.
Yeah, Tim Curry as him. Like the character him from Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not up to date with my Powerpuff Girls.
Red dude with the claws.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Like-
You see, I remember. I remember. I forget what the monkey's name is.
Oh,
the
Mojo
teenage
Jojo.
monkey. Mojo Jojo. I was thinking, is it that? But I definitely remember him. But aside from that, I'm gonna be completely honest. When it comes to characters, can't remember. It's been so long.
Fair enough.
I
Um,
mean, you may get your wish. They're making Powerpuff Girls at the CW.
let's right. So like no, let's just I mean, like I never thought a Powerpuff Girls live action announcement could aggravate me that much, but my god, like that CW show can just bugger off. I am peaking. I'm gonna reduce my mic. Um, what? Like okay, so I can't even talk about it. Like,
Do you want to know what's really funny about it?
what?
I'm actually just kind of I I'm not like excited for it, but I'm interested. I'm interested just to see what it looks like and how they make it into live action with their take, because I don't want to see it, but at the same time it's like a car crash,
Do you know
and
what?
I don't want to.
Like if it's so bad that we have fun, but like having 20-year-old college age Powerpuff Girls who are disillusioned with the world and all that crap, like I mean come on, it's the Powerpuff Girls, how can you make them edgy?
Oh.
Like who would have
It's like I
thought?
said, I'm not excited for it, but just to see what exactly their take is, I'm interested, but I'm not excited at all.
Like of all the things we were gonna talk about today, who would have thought that the one thing to get me just going was the Powerpuff Girls adaptation?
I mean, it is pretty horrific by the sound of things.
It's. I mean, if it was any other like studio, I probably wouldn't mind. But it's the fact that it is like CW that's really worrying me.
Yeah. Did you ever see the short film which was like adult Power Rangers?
Oh, the one by
think it
Adi
was-
Shankar. Yeah, I like
think
it.
was, yeah, Adi Shankar. Yeah, I thought that was pretty good, and I was kind of, when I saw the announcement for the Powerpuff Girl show, I was kind of like, will it be anything like that? And then I read into it, and it really isn't.
Nah, like I mean, power. Oh man, like I suppose it does depend again the nebulous thing, execution, but based on what
Very
they
true.
said, it just does not look great. And the fact that it is CW, that's what worries me the most. Any other studio, fine.
Yeah, it's kind of like you know what you're getting with a CW show.
Yeah, it's going to be cheap, and chances are you'll be beaten over the head with a friggin' theme of some sort, and you'll be done for 40 minutes until you come back the next day.
Pretty much.
Oh.
It's one of those where I jump in and out of the CW Arrowverse shows, but Supernatural's the one that's that I really do enjoy, and I have no doubt that the Powerpuff Girls live action show will not come close, and I probably will not watch a single episode.
Like, I mean, the fact that you've watched and kept up with so many of the CW shows, like, that in itself deserves some sort of medal, dude.
Thank you, dude.
I mean, because, like, this horror villain stream, just at this point,
How
God,
did we get to this?
I don't know. Like, I think because we were talking about Pennywise, and then Tim Curry, and then me talking about my me wanting Tim Curry as him, and then we just got to talking about Powerpuff Girls, and I'm like, oh, like in this horror stream, we're talking about the Powerpuff Girls, and if you're just logging in, yes, that is what we're talking about. The horrifying news.
It's pretty horrific. I think we should probably get back to horror at this point.
How dare you?
Would you prefer to talk about the CW Powerpuff Girls show?
I mean, the CW in itself is a horror show, so. Oh, okay. So I'm not sure if you've seen them, but have you seen any of the, Wrong Turn movies?
I have not.
Oh, it's basically inbred cannibals eating people for like 9-10 films. That's about it, really. You're just there for the gore and creative kills.
9-10 films.
Yeah, Wrong Turn's got
9-10 films.
Yeah, like they've got.
That's a lot.
Let me check how many Wrong Turn films there actually are, because there's a few of them. Okay, so Wrong Turn: The Foundation this year, and that is okay. Which film is it? Wrong Turn 7. Okay, so nearly 9-10.
Okay.
So seventh.
When was
film.
the first one released?
Oh, like 2000 and 2003. Yeah.
Oh wow! So it's been going quite a while.
Yeah, I remember when it was just one Wrong Turn, and then a second one came out. It's like, oh my god, these guys really need a map.
It's just a series of wrong turns.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, as far as slashes go, like they're fairly kind of average, but like you get some really creative kills with them, so that's pretty much the only reason why I've watched most of them.
Yeah.
I remember at the time as well, because you got Wrong Turn, and then you got another film that came out around the same time called Dead End, which, again...
Okay, so they're following similar themes.
Yeah, it's like people just getting lost because they keep taking shortcuts, man. Like, don't do it. But,
So was this the horror movie version of Armageddon and Deep Impact?
in a weird way, I guess. Like, Dead End was basically this long stretch of road, and you just keep on going till all of you are dead, and there's just no end to it. You can't go anywhere else. You always come back to this one road. And then every time there's a kill, a hearse comes soul away to this nebulous darkness, and I'm like, okay. It was...
Cool film. You do you.
Yeah, it's like, it was perfectly acceptable.
Fair enough.
Yeah, like I think it stayed more in my memory because of when I watched it rather than its quality, because a couple of the kills were alright from what I remember. Like, then again, I haven't seen this since I was like 9 or 10, so...
Oh wow, that was my next question. When did you first see it?
Yeah, it's nearly 20 years, jeez. But it still stayed in my memory, so it's done something right.
I suppose so.
Oh, okay. Are you, David, a fan of The Pinhead?
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm not the person to be on the show right now. Because you keep bringing up all these characters, and I am not an expert at horror, and I will never claim to be.
Yeah, because right now it's literally just me talking at you rather than having a conversation. See, this is why internet kind of sucks, because it took Amy from us when things were going really well.
Yeah, like we really got into a rhythm, and then it's just kind of gotten away from us now, because now we're talking about all these films where I'm interested, and I'm happy to talk about them and learn about these films and these characters. But yeah, I have nothing to add, really.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of another film I saw in my single digits, Hellraiser. When I think
Wasn't
about,
Henry Cavill in one of them?
he was in like the fourth or fifth one. He was in the no, I
Oh
think
wow.
I think he was in the fifth one, the one after they went to space.
They went to space.
I'm sure they did, or they a interesting version of space, but space was
okay.
involved.
They got there before Fast and Furious.
I know, like horror films, man. That's the way to go to space first.
Jason X.
Hellraiser, and then it came back down to earth because of Henry Cavill and Lance Henriksen in the same film.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I actually find it really funny when you think about all the stars that got their starts in horror movies and where they are now.
You know, Evangeline Lilly, Wasp from the Marvel films, she had a cameo in Freddy vs. Jason.
Oh really?
Yeah, she was a background
And
character
now
in
she's
high
the
school.
Wasp. And-
She's done the best
and-
out of them.
and then you've got Johnny Depp, Matthew McConaughey, Kevin Bacon, all early films in the horror genre.
Oh yeah. If I remember correctly, Crispin Glover was in the same one as Kevin Bacon.
Oh really?
Yeah, so Marty McFly's daddy was getting killed alongside Kevin Bacon in a Friday film.
Oh. Who are some other stars that have been in like early horror films that have become really big stars now
Ooh,
that you can think of?
I don't know about really big, but Emily Browning was in Ghost Ship as the little girl, and she was in Legend, Sucker Punch, and a couple of other stuff recently. So I say recently.
Yeah, I believe she's one of the Baudelaire children in the Jim Carrey series of unfortunate events.
Yeah, she was.
Trying to think of a few actors who got this. Wasn't Mark Ruffalo in a horror film or two at the beginning of his career?
I'm
I
sure he
swear I read
was.
something.
Mark Ruffalo horror film. This is just gonna be us just IMDb
Mirror
active.
Mirror.
He was in Mirror Mirror?
Yeah, Mirror Mirror 2 and Mirror Mirror 3. These titles, Mirror Mirror 2 is the subtitle of Raven Dance, and then Mirror Mirror 3 is The Voyeur.
Wait, hang on. Mirror, this Snow White one with Lily Collins.
I believe so, yeah, but these two Mirror Mirror films were in the 90s, so it definitely wasn't that one.
Oh, okay, fair. Oh, there
Paul
it is.
Rudd was in a Halloween movie, I know that.
He was in the sixth one, I think.
It still shocks me, like how many Halloween films there are. Like, I think there are 12 now. I could be wrong.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If it's not 12, the 12th one is the next one. Because we got 6, H2O, Resurrection, the 2 Rob Zombie films. That makes it 10. So the new Halloween's 11. So yeah, 12's got to be the next one.
And then Halloween Ends will be the 13th.
And then Jason will return.
You know what? It wouldn't shock me if they went in stages like that.
It's like we
I've
got
been
the
trying to get a new Friday the 13th movie made for quite a while.
Yeah, it's been wrapped up in all the legal battle between the original writer and the director, so they haven't been able to get all the rights in one place to use it. Because if I remember correctly, Jason, the character, was not a part of the franchise until like the second or third film, like as we know him. Like
Yeah.
the mask came on in the third film, I think. So that version of Jason.
Wasn't the villain of the first film his mother?
It was his mother. So yeah. So
When
the right.
do you think we'll get another Friday the 13th movie?
Wait, do I think we'll get one?
No, when will we get another one? Like, in your opinion, do you think we'll get one in the next 10 years?
Ooh, it depends on when this legal thing gets wrapped up, because after that, I gotta imagine they'll fast track one, because the horror buzz is kind of dying down now.
I mean, we're actually living in a horror movie at this present moment, so...
True. No, I mean, like, we had that peak a couple of years ago where it's like hit after hit. So, where like there were consistently good horror films coming out. Like we got Annabelle Creation, It, and a couple of others like in a row. So that's what I mean by the peak. But yes,
I get what you mean.
but yeah,
I imagine that they might already have a script.
I don't doubt that. You know, it's like the Snyder cut. You know, there was a cut. You know, I'm sure there's a script, but it's just getting the rights to actually do it that's going to be the most interesting thing.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Do we know if there's any active development over a new Nightmare on Elm Street movie?
I haven't heard anything in years. I don't think there is one actually.
Oh wow. So it looks like we've had the last of Freddy Krueger for the time being.
For the time being, yeah. There'll be a remake or reboot or something like that eventually. Done by Blumhouse, of course, because he's doing all the horror these days.
Literally. It genuinely... If... yeah.
Oh no, you just cut off after that.
If they kind of went through phases, like they're in the Michael Myers phase at the moment, and then they'll just jump through all the horror icons.
Oh god, so it's gonna be like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, only it's just the Blumhouse phase. Like, we got the Michael Myers phase,
Yeah.
then the Jason phase, then the Krueger phase.
Maybe it'll all culminate in one cinematic universe.
A bit better than what Universal tried to do.
Very true.
Oh my god, that Mummy film. Like, did we watch? No, I watched it by myself.
That
but
was something else.
yeah. Oh my god, like that film was fascinatingly bad.
What was your favorite part about it, Dylan?
Oh, like, do you know what? Legitimately, I think I really did like the free fall section in the plane.
That was cool, yeah.
Yeah, like I genuinely liked that part, but as far as good bad-isms, I would say the constant uncertainty on what tone you will get in this film.
Oh,
because 1 minute
between all the genres.
1 minute it's an action adventure, the next minute it's a comedy, and the next minute it's pretending to be a horror film. Like, pick a tone, dude. Like, or at the very least, be consistent with your tone and mix in the genres.
Absolutely. I think what makes me laugh about the Universal monster universe that they tried to get going was the fact that they even had a promo shot.
Oh god, I remember that.
With Tom Cruise, Depp, I think Sophia Boutella was in there.
Yeah.
I think Javier Bardem.
Angelina Jolie was there. Russell Crowe.
Crazy.
Russell
Crowe was in The Mummy, wasn't he? I completely forgot about that. He played Dr. Jekyll.
He did.
I believe.
Oh my god, like, I get we need some exposition dumps in films, but my god, that was special. Oh.
Absolutely.
I mean, compared
You know what? I haven't actually thought about that film since it was released.
oh, that's kind of
Uh,
like a yearly occurrence with me. Every so often I'll think, that was a film I watched in the cinema. Thank God I didn't pay for it. um, yeah, like, especially considering the fact that we've got the original 30s, 40s, 50s Mummy, and we've got the Brendan Fraser Mummy, which is pretty freaking cool.
yeah, exactly. Like that's our action dose of the Mummy all sorted.
Yeah, like the first two, the Mummy Returns, CGI rock notwithstanding, pretty entertaining. And then the third one
They
comes
really
out.
are.
Yeah. And you're like, oh no.
What is this?
Yeah, Jet Li, what are you doing? Michelle Yeoh, why are you here? Oh,
It doesn't Maria Bello step in for Rachel Weisz in The Mummy 3?
I think so, yeah.
I remember that being like a weird shift for me.
Yeah.
Because I was just so used to seeing Rachel Weisz in the original too. When the third film came out, I was like, what is this? Who is this woman, and where's Rachel Weisz?
I know. It's like, did you get remarried without telling us?
No, nothing against Maria Bello. She's a really good actress, but like Rachel Weisz, like she's on another level.
Oh yeah, like the last thing I saw Maria Bello in was that god awful Max Steel film from a couple of years ago.
You know, I never saw it.
Andy Garcia was in that Max Steel film.
Oh, hang on. I'm thinking about something completely different. I'm thinking of Max Payne.
Oh, okay. A very different film.
I'm thinking of Max Payne.
No,
I just currently started thinking about that film, but Max Steel is the weird superhero film that they tried to do a couple of years ago, right?
It is, yeah.
Oh god, I never saw that.
It was pretty poor, I'll be honest.
Did you see that in cinema?
Oh no, it never came to cinemas over here.
Oh, thank god.
Like, it was like a limited release in the US, if I remember correctly. It was just abominable.
I can imagine. From the trailer, it looked pretty bad. I think the last thing I saw her in was
in
Lights Out, the David F. Sandberg film.
Oh, right. Do you know what? I really like that short film. I didn't see the full feature length film yet, though.
You want to know the irony? I've actually seen the short film yet, but I've heard great things.
It's a pretty nifty little film. Yeah, absolutely. Very creative.
He really loves doing his shorts. I know that he put out another short film during the pandemic.
Yeah, it was decent actually. Yeah.
Shows what you can do with not a lot of resources, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Just a camera, mic, and a person. That's all you need.
I like David F. Sandberg.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
As we're talking about David F. Sandberg, I've got Leatherface from Chainsaw Massacre on screen, just chilling.
Wasn't Alexandra Daddario in the remake a couple of years ago?
Was she?
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Let me check. I don't possibly. I didn't watch it.
Where I saw that she was in it.
Texas Chainsaw 3D. She was in it. My goodness.
Funny thing is, I actually watched a film with her in it not long ago called We Summon the Darkness. It was a bit of slasher film, I guess you could say. And it wasn't great, but she was good in it.
Oh, I remember this, but never watched it.
Johnny Knoxville is in it as well.
He looks depraved.
And do you want to know who else is in it? Do you know when we went to see Alita?
Yes.
Um,
Oh my
and-
god! Hugo's in it!
and there's the really cringy love story that they tried to make work.
Oh my
He's in
God.
it as well.
Oh, he looks the same.
he was also in Midway.
Oh,
the
was he?
Roland Emmerich film. Yeah.
Okay, was he better?
Yes.
Okay, that's alright then.
Hang on, in Midway or We Summon the Darkness?
I'll take either.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Alright, that's good.
Because
Um,
I didn't think he was. No offense to Kean Johnson, I believe his name is. No offense to him. I wasn't really a fan of his character in Alita, whereas I thought that he was serviceable in the other two films.
not even good, just serviceable. You have improved.
Yeah.
Oh wow, like it's completely out in Amy's area.
Oh really?
The internet, I mean, like, just in case. Oh, that sucks.
Well, was it like a power cut or something? Or
I think the internet is just out until 10 to 1 in the morning.
that's really odd.
Yeah. I mean, imagine if we've been doing this and we've actually been, caught as well. We just never realized.
I mean, that would be pretty funny.
That would be impressive that we're still talking, if that were the case.
I mean, we're really good friends, so it shouldn't be that big of a shock.
Yeah, it's like our friendship transcends the internet.
Literally.
But yeah, I've got a few more horror boyos in the docket, but I'm not sure if you'll know any of them at this point. Oh, actually,
Oh, okay.
I do. The Ring, Sadako or Samara from the US. What do you think of the Ringu franchise?
I've heard of it.
Fair.
I will say this though. I saw the trailer for the remake.
Oh, Rings.
With Rings with I think Vincent D'Onofrio's in it.
Yeah, Vincent
And
D'Onofrio,
that
Johnny
looked-
Galecki, yeah.
That looked dreadful.
Do you know what? The best part about that film was Johnny Galecki.
Is he the guy from Big Bang Theory?
Leonard from The Big Bang Theory, yeah.
Oh wow. He was the best thing about it.
Yeah, and funny enough, he started out in, well, not started out, but he got his street cred in horror. He was in one of the I Know What You Did Last Summer video films.
Who knew? Who knew?
But yeah.
Good for him. Good for him. I'm not a big fan of Big Bang Theory, but good for him.
Oh god, I cannot stand the big. Like, I enjoyed it in the early seasons, but then as it went on, I was like, nah, dude, I'm out.
I was so bored during the beginning of the pandemic. I started watching it just to see how it's like it, because whenever I'd seen clips of the show, I had not been entertained in the slightest, and I watched the entire thing from beginning to end. And my not the show at all.
You have, good sir, seen more episodes of The Big Bang Theory than I ever have.
I'm pretty sure that I have seen a lot of episodes of TV this year. That is more than most people have watched of TV this year, and that's saying a lot.
I think it's more TV than I've seen in the past 2 years, dude. based on the list you kept sending me over the lockdown period.
TV. I'm not. I don't think I'm all that proud of it, but it's something that I enjoy.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
Pandemic, like it's a really good way to just kind of lock down and just try not to think about what's going on in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. What better way to spend your evening, eh?
True. I will say this though, I'm enjoying getting into the horror mood. Just in time for Halloween.
I know, right?
Haunting of Hill House.
Oh my
is
god,
just superb.
it is incredibly well executed. I love it.
Same here. Did you say that you were up to episode 4?
I'm watching episode 4 next, yeah.
Next year?
No, I'm watching episode 4 next. Yes.
Oh, I thought you said next year. I was like,
Oh,
oh my
no.
god, why are you leaving it that long?
If it was a game, probably, but nah, like, because I'm watching The Boys and Haunting at the same time, so I'm alternating between episodes, which is why it's taking me a bit.
I get you. I've been watching like one episode of The Haunting of Hill House, and I genuinely think so far it gets better and better.
Yeah. Like, by the time the 3rd episode ended, I was like, I am so thoroughly entertained, I didn't even notice the hour go by.
Absolutely. Like I feel as though I'm on the edge of my seat, even in the character-based scenes, and I think
Yeah.
that's really special.
Like, when they're alone and they're exploring, you're like, oh my god, like, something's going to happen. And because there's no music or anything like that, you really get to stew in the scene with them. And then when they're talking and we're learning about characters and what they're feeling and all that, I'm like, oh, these are good characters and I'm scared for them. My god, I've missed this feeling.
Literally, like you really get a sense of who each character is, especially because they've decided to focus on one character per episode, and I think
Absolutely.
that was a really great way to approach it.
And I love the way how they played with time in episode 2 and 3 as well. I'm gonna assume they're gonna do the same for the next 2 episodes, but like seeing it from the sister's point of view, then seeing it from Theo's point of view, and then seeing how everything comes together, I'm like, oh my god, yes. Good writing. I've missed you.
Confirm that does continue, but I won't go any further.
Like, I do have a theory on the structure of the show, but I am curious on how it is gonna go. It's because so far, compared to what I had in mind about what the show might be, there was nothing compared to what I had in mind, and I'm loving it.
Oh, cool. What did you think the show would be like just going into it?
Like, I assumed that it was the family moving in and getting all the spookitisms going on the entire time and us slowly learning about things. I didn't expect them to be, oh no, they were in the house, now they're gone, and dealing with things. And I'm like, oh, okay. Cool.
It's a really interesting way to approach the story, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And so
Focus
far,
on the aftermath.
yeah. And then after 3 episodes, hardcore Theo is my favorite character. I love Theo.
Theo's great. Theo's great. I think my favorite episode is so far is between 5 and 6.
Okay.
But like I said, I think the show kind of gets better and better. Like, it's funny. Like, I think the way that they planned out the season, with how they introduced each member of the family, I think it was really clever with the way that they focus on Stephen and then Theo, and then Luke, and then Nell.
Nelly,
Like,
yeah.
it's really clever, and I think they went the right way about it. But the funny thing is that I kind of feel as though, as the episodes went on, I cared about each main character more than the previous one.
I know, right? Like in the previous episode, episode 2 for me, where it's the older sister and she's going through her stuff. I'm like, oh, honey, do you want a hug? And then Theo comes along. I'm like, oh no, why? You know, it's like, oh, it's so good. Like that scene
Definitely.
where she goes into the basement alone. I was just
I was on the
tense.
edge of my seat.
That was,
I fully expected something to happen.
I know, right? And I mean, especially considering the fact that she is, by that point in the episode, quote unquote sensitive. And like the fact that she goes in alone with no
Yeah.
one nearby, I'm like, oh no, Theo, no. Like, I know she's gonna be okay, but at the same time, because you know what happened to Luke beforehand, that just made it
Yeah.
even more just, ugh.
I think another thing is that we know that the house terrified everyone in there.
Oh
And
yeah.
Sure, 6 out of the 7 of them make it out, but like we don't know the extent of what their troubles were while they were inside the house. So that's why we're always on the edge of our seat.
Yeah, absolutely. And from the first episode, you know that mom's gonna get offed somehow. And it's like, oh, how? And it's like just knowing that. And Carla Gugino is just incredible. She should be in more things. I was so happy when I found out she was in this.
Same here. She's literally the person that I knew show going into it. Like I knew Henry Thomas was in it from E.T. And is it Michael Huisman from Game of Thrones?
Oh, Dario, yeah.
Yeah, I know he plays Steven, but everyone else, I kind of went into it with a clean slate. Aside from maybe Oliver Jackson Cohen, who was in the Invisible Man movie this year.
Oh.
But yeah, everyone else completely clean slate, and the show is just such a breath of fresh air.
I know, right? Like, I mean, especially considering the fact that over the past couple of months, like, quality writing has been lacking in the media I've been taking in. So just seeing something so good, like, I know it's a horror series, and I am just intense the entire time through, but every time an episode finishes, I'm just smiling, thinking, "Oh, good writing. I have missed you."
It's funny because I'm so used to watching like horror films where I either care about no one in the cast or I care about one person in the cast.
Yeah.
And to have a whole family that I care about, it's on a complete and utter level. It's just incredible.
I know. And it's the fact that even though like the scary stuff is pretty intense in that series, despite the fact that rarely anything actually does happen, it's really cool how
True.
they've incorporated the grief and the aftermath, the emotional aftermath into the series in such an organic way where that in itself
Definitely.
is probably the bigger focus compared to it.
I also. Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I was just saying that the emotional response that these guys have to their, well, mother dying and all of that, that is almost like a secondary horror that adds to the physical horror of the house as well, the emotional and the physical, the internal and the external. I think the way they integrated that was absolutely superb.
Absolutely. Like, I think a lot of the time as film students, we're always talking about films and media in general. Some things work on different levels, and they're always thinking at a different pace, and they're always kind of ahead of you. And I really House, like it's just on another level and thinking at multiple levels at the
Oh
same
yeah.
time.
And it's so reassuring to actually see like how long a shot lasts. Like when Theo was in the basement in episode 3, it's like she's coming down the stairs, she walks around, she goes to the couch, and I was like, we haven't cut once yet. This is impressive. And I was just riveted.
I'm not gonna give anything away, but just you wait.
Like I've heard some mad things about just how good the cinematography is in this show, so I am just looking forward to it.
I think you'll like what you. I think you'll like what you see.
It's so far I haven't disliked anything from Hill House, dude. Jeez, I love it.
By the way,
Yes.
same. By the way, remember a few months ago, I watched the Twilight films for the first time.
Oh god, yeah.
I noticed something while watching Hill House.
Oh my, tell me.
Shirley is one of the vampires in Pattinson's family.
Which one? Oh, yes, the mother.
Yeah,
Carla's wife, yeah.
it took me a moment, but I clocked onto it and I was like, oh, hang on. And also, unrelated to Twilight, but Theo, young Theo, is played by McKenna Grace. She's actually been in quite a lot, which is
She looked very
quite
familiar.
remarkable for someone at her age. But she's been in Ready Player One. She was in Independence Day Resurgence. She was in Annabelle Comes Home.
Oh my god,
and-
yes, she was.
And she is also young Captain Marvel, young Carol Danvers.
Oh my days. No wonder she looked familiar.
Yeah, like I said, she's accomplished a lot at her age. Like I think she's only like 11 or 12, but you know, she's way more successful than a lot of actors.
I think the only one I liked is probably Hill House. I haven't seen Ready Player One, so I mean, Annabelle Comes Home was a bit of a joke. Captain Marvel,
Fair enough.
I dislike with every passing day. So yeah.
That's fair. It's not my favorite of the MCU either.
Oh.
It's definitely in the lower ranks.
It's I'm not it's I think it's probably my least favorite MCU film, Captain Marvel.
Honestly, I can definitely see why. Like I said, it's not one of my favorites. It's got nothing to do with Brie Larson or
Like from a pure writing standpoint, I just think it is
yeah,
that bad.
it's literally just down to writing and character as well.
Yeah.
But I do like Brie Larson. I think that she's a really good actress. I just think that she didn't have the first outing, and I'm hoping that with Captain Marvel 2 in the hands of Nia DaCosta, I'm hoping that we see an improvement in terms of the Captain Marvel character, and hopefully, lives up to Brie Larson's talent.
See, like, I hope so, but at the same time, from a writing perspective, what can you really do to Captain Marvel to put her in any sort of danger anymore, because short of a Power Stone punching her in the face bare-fisted, nothing phases her, so what can stand up to her now?
I mean, that is the challenge that they're gonna have to face.
Like,
So I'll be interested to see what. But you're absolutely right. I've said on a number of occasions that she's kind of like a missile. in a
that's
way.
putting it lightly. I mean, she was the missile in Endgame.
Literally, and I think she does Marvel too, in Captain Marvel as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh god, yeah, with the Kree warships, yeah.
So yeah, I definitely see what you mean there. It's a challenge that they're gonna have to face, but I'm looking forward to seeing what the results may be.
I would be curious to see what it is, just because if people are saying, "Oh, Superman's too powerful," it's like, have you seen what Captain Marvel can do? She doesn't have a weakness, you know. Superman, you can cast a spell or throw a rock at him, but what can you do to Captain Marvel?
Throw a rock at him.
I mean, let's be honest, that's basically what you have to do to nerf Superman. You know, like throw a bright green rock at him, you'll be fine. Like, as much as Superman
Oh
is
no,
like...
you're completely right. I just found it funny the way you.
Yeah. But as much as Superman is my favorite superhero, like, I will take the mick out of him because it is fun.
Fair enough.
But yeah, we'll see what happens with Captain Marvel. I mean, honestly, like, after Endgame, and especially after seeing Far From Home, I am incredibly cautious about what to expect from the MCU going forward, because, like, from a writing perspective, Far From Home was such a mess that, like, that bar scene, for example, was just such a joke. I'm like, surely not, guys, don't do this. And just no. And then before that we got Captain Marvel, which just kind of fell flat on his face a bit from a writing perspective. And we got Endgame, which was writing wise pretty solid for the most part, barring some major issues that I can look over because of just how good the payoff was. But now, restarting, getting the engine going again, what are you going to do writing wise? Because the trend, your batting average is not that high anymore, so I'm just very cautious now.
No, I completely get what you mean. I'm hoping that they'll be able to achieve, obviously not as colossal heights as Infinity War or Endgame.
Oh yeah.
But kind of getting to successes like Phase 2, maybe, with Winter Soldier or the first Guardians. Like not high, maybe not as high as those, but like, good quality films.
Yeah, and I think as far as like Marvel really has run into an issue of power escalation now as well, because the world is so open, the galaxy is so wide, that it's like when you go back down, it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna have this film about extortionists. It's like, dude, there is a world-eating demigod coming after us. I think the extortionist can wait, you know? It's like...
Yeah.
The sense of scale and power in the Marvel Universe now is kind of... Well, it's not broken yet, but it's kind of unrealistic now to actually go back down to the Ant-Man level, where it's like, we're gonna have a little film about this now, and it's like, we just had Endgame, dude. You know? So
it's something that I really miss about like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. Like it was just so into itself, and you really felt like the importance of that specific character. Whereas I don't think we get that anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a shame.
Because now with so many
Uh,
superheroes, you can throw a rock, a same metaphorical rock, and you'll hit a superhero now. You know.
it might just bounce off them,
Yeah.
but you know.
But I kind of wish that after Endgame they went on like a 2-year hiatus and then just went on a couple of solo
I mean,
films.
they've kind of went on an unintentional one.
Forcibly so, yeah. But like I would have preferred it to be intentional.
Kind
because,
of gone on an unintentional one.
Yeah. And then just kind of had
Yeah.
a reset. You finish that story. Do a couple of individual ones where they're completely isolated and it's just this hero for this world and kind of thing, you know. Back to like the mid 2000s, oddly enough. And then make another superhero universe with whole new characters and start fresh kind of thing, you know?
I'd even say start with the Fantastic Four.
All that, yeah. Bring Tim Story back.
Start with
Ian Griffith and all of them.
Bill Bell.
Recast Chris
Yeah.
Evans.
Just bring back Chris Evans because that's what you gotta do.
Oh yeah. Oh my. Chris Evans can be like Thing.
Yeah, it just swap all the characters.
Yeah. And then Ian Griffith can be the Invisible Woman, and then Jessica Alba can be Human
Hello?
Torch. Michael Chiklis can be Mr.
Hello?
Fantastic. Oh, David? David, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay.
There was a bit of a delay.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying that we could have Ian Griffith as Invisible Woman. We can have like Jessica Alba be like Human Torch, and then Michael Chiklis as Mr. Fantastic or something like that.
Oh my god! You know what? I hadn't thought about this, but they kind of already did that.
What? How?
For Rise of the Silver Surfer, they kind of already did that. Where the characters were swapping their powers.
Oh my god! Yeah. Gee.
Just as you were describing that, I was just kind of thinking to myself, I'm pretty sure I did see Jessica Alba on fire in a Fantastic Four movie.
Oh, you can tell that film left an impact.
I haven't seen those films in like 10 years.
God, same here. Oh.
I'll still probably watch them over the 2015 version.
Do you know what? The 2015 version, as much as I don't like the second half, the first half had a lot of potential. I was like, halfway through, I was like, oh my god, am I going to be the only guy in the world that likes this film? And then the second half hits, and I'm like, oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense.
No, I actually kind of agree with you. Like, it wasn't awful.
Literally.
It wasn't awful.
After
there
they
were
get back,
missteps, but
yeah, after they get back from the other world, everything just kind of goes to hell from a storytelling perspective.
absolutely. Like, I remember sitting there and I was like, oh, this isn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
And then it just hit a certain point.
And then
And I
like a
was like,
dominoes,
oh.
it just all came crumbling down.
Oh, here we go. This is what I heard about. Okay. This isn't good. This is bad. This is getting even worse.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's great that we've got this horror talk going, and we talked about Haunting for a good 10-15 minutes, and now we're just talking about superhero films as usual.
I mean, to be fair, I believe Josh Trank wanted to go with a Cronenberg-style Fantastic Four movie with his approach.
From what I remember, yeah.
So we're kind of in that vein.
Yeah, so you know what, with Amy not being here at this point and us actually devolving into superhero films, shall we call it a day for today?
I think that might be the right idea.
Yeah.
It's a shame that Amy couldn't make it back. but she'll be back next week. And
Absolutely.
we'll have as much fun as ever.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Next week, we're going to be having some interesting tisms going on, so be sure to get that on.
It'll be our own Hill House.
Oh yeah. I can neither confirm nor I have actually finished the outline, so we are
very
good to
cool.
go.
Very cool. Will it be called The Haunting of something?
The Haunting of Liverpool. I don't know.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll figure out a name after we've done it. See what's most appropriate.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Or maybe I'll
The
just
Haunting of Cluedo.
like, I'll probably think of something by next week to call it, like, what we watch on the screens, number 7, The Haunting of Nebula's House. The Haunting of Nebula's House, that's it. That's what we're calling
I
it.
love it. You've got to make sure that you've got that title written down.
Oh, it's locked.
It's locked.
It's locked.
Perfect.
But yeah, we're gonna do that next week. Relationship Part 3 is gonna be coming out on Friday at 7, and that's about it
Very
from my
nice.
end. So yeah, all the socials will be on the description below for mine, David's, and Amy's. So yeah, for anyone that is still watching, thank you very much for staying with us, and
It's very much appreciated.
absolutely, and we wish you